everyone, you're watching News Edge with me Priyamada Tyagi, and today we will talk about insulin. Insulin comes from an organ in the stomach area called the pancreas. The main role of insulin is to ensure that sugar from nutrients in food is correctly used or stored in the body. However, when you are a type 2 diabetic, your body doesn't make enough insulin on its own, or the body doesn't use insulin properly. This leads to high blood sugar levels. When the sugar levels in the body exceeded the normal prescribed limits, doctors or medical experts prescribe taking insulin injections to regulate the levels in the body. Insulin therapy is usually prescribed when the other treatment methods or lifestyle changes don't affect your sugar levels. Well, according to Healthline, the likelihood of having to use insulin or blood sugar management increases with the duration of diabetes. That is, the longer you have diabetes, the more chances of you having to resort to insulin. In some cases, insulin can also be prescribed if the blood sugar levels are very high in a newly diagnosed patient. It can also be recommended to those who have high sugar levels combined with having heart issues, undergoing surgery, or has other severe ailments. The question is that, can one stop taking insulin? Yes, is the short answer. If one has been prescribed insulin in emergency situations, such as before a surgery or to control gestational diabetes. Some pregnant mothers witness high sugar levels while they're carrying. Then they can be given off insulin. However, it's not the same for a long-term diabetic patient. In some cases, if a diabetes patient can lower his or her sugar levels, then they can be given off insulin. But doctors have stated, once a diabetic, always a diabetic. Medical experts also note that in some cases, insulin dependency becomes a lifelong issue, meaning the patient has to keep taking it for the rest of their life. That in most cases, the only time that diabetes patient can go off insulin is when diabetes is still in the early stages and they are able to stabilize their sugar levels. Moreover, patients who are going off insulin are told to be regular with their medications and constantly monitor their sugar levels. Sometimes high sugar levels might not show symptoms. It can be a silent killer if the symptoms are life-threatening. Don't be callous with the condition. Now, are there any risks to taking insulin? Perhaps the biggest risk of taking insulin is low blood sugar, which, if not treated, can become a medical emergency. There are other risks with taking insulin. One of the biggest side effects of taking insulin is potential weight gain. This is because insulin is a growth hormone, and any growth hormone you take as medication can encourage weight gain. Growth hormones usually make you feel hungry, and so you could eat more than your body needs. Another potential risk of insulin could be rashes or infections at the spot where you inject yourself. Well, why are we talking about it? Only because chants of Kejriwal ko insulin do ring loud outside Delhi's Tihar jail as supporters and members of the Aam Aadmi Party camp outside and protest in support of their leader. Kejriwal's party members allege that the jail officials are not providing him with insulin for his diabetes despite repeated requests. In fact, his party leaders have alleged that there is a conspiracy to kill Kejriwal in jail by denying him access to insulin even though he is diabetic. And with the fight over his insulin intensifying, a local court in the capital ordered that the director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi set up a medical board to determine whether the chief minister needs insulin to control his sugar levels and consider his other medical issues. As the tussle continues with both sides leveling charges against each other, now what's Kejriwal's insulin tussle? Before we get into the specifics of insulin, let's take a closer look at what happened with Kejriwal. The Delhi's chief minister is currently residing at Tihar jail in connection with the Delhi liquor policy case. Last week, the CM moved the court seeking directions that Tihar authorities administer him insulin and allow daily medical consultation for 15 minutes through video conference due to fluctuation in his sugar levels. The Enforcement Directorate claimed in response that CM was eating mangoes and sweets and drinking tea with sugar to create a medical emergency to obtain sympathy from the court. The AAP chief hit back at these charges with his legal team accusing prison authorities and ED of depriving him of medication and of lying to the court that he was deliberately eating high sugar foods to increase his diabetes. Kejriwal also hit back at the report in which he claimed the Bihar authorities stated that he did not require insulin, as his high blood sugar levels were not alarming. And with claims and counterclaims being made on Monday, 22nd April, the CBI Judge Kaveri Baveja said that the medical board by the director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences will take a decision on the administration of insulin. The medical board also will prescribe diet and exercise plan, the court added. On Tuesday, 23rd April, AAP members reported that Kejriwal was administered insulin after his blood sugar levels soared to over 320. Finally, the BJP and its jail administration came to their senses and gave insulin to CM Kejriwal in jail. CM Kejriwal's sugar level had reached 320. This has been possible only due to the blessings of Lord Hanuman and the struggle of the people of Delhi. We have succeeded in delivering insulin to our chief minister, the AAP said in a post on X. Well, that's all we have for the day. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.